Hello everyone, welcome to my first vlog. This vlog will be brought to you by the letter F. We're going to be talking about the F word. Before you start thinking too much about it, it's not that F word. We're talking about feminism. Say it with me, feminism. I know that it's had a lot of bad connotations and stereotypes over the years. There's a lot of misconception about it, so I'd like to talk a little bit about what feminism is not, that it is usually perceived as, and what feminism really is. One internet user, he posted his answer on yahooanswers.com, says that feminism is dumb. Society is backwards in so many ways today. Feminism is just another contributor to that problem. They try to deny that there's, in fact, certain roles that men and women play and are good at. And what they end up doing is making everything gender neutral, which is why you have men who act like girls and women who act like men. They have this saying that what is good for the goose is good for the gander, which is their way of saying, oh yeah, if men can do it, so can women. It's just retarded on so many levels. Well, those are some choice words there. I can't say that I agree with that at all. But moving past that, some other stereotypes that are associated with feminism is that they are bitches, they're fat, they're ugly, dykes, they're man-haters, they are bra burners, they're hairy, and they look like they're butch and loud, they're militant, they're radical and angry. So these are some pretty negative stereotypes, although I wouldn't say that they're all false. Like, there are radical feminists. There's several different categories of feminists, which I probably won't touch on too much, but radical feminists is definitely one of them. They have more extreme measures of activism. Again, I'm getting ahead of myself here. But there are also angry feminists, but these are taken out of context when they use them in the stereotypes. But anyway, that is a little preview of what people think feminism is. So if you join me on my next segment, I will tell you what feminism actually is. So stay tuned. I'll see you next time. Welcome back to my second segment. If you recall, in the first one, we were talking about what people commonly think about feminism. In this one, we are going to talk about what feminism actually is. I'm using two texts that come from my women's studies class I've been taking in the fall. The first text comes from Megan Seeley called Fight Like a Girl. Sorry, there's kind of a glare. And the other one that we have been using is Feminism is for Everybody by Bell Hooks. You can't really see Bell Hooks. There she is. Okay. So according to Megan Seeley, her definition of feminism is that it is a view that suggests that feminism is about equality and also empowerment, strength, self-definition, and self-determination. It is an assertion that all women and girls can have not just equality in their lives, but also quality of life. In the United States and around the globe, feminism is about advocacy, activism, standing up, and speaking out. It is about fighting for social justice, and it is about working toward a solution to the continued discrimination and violence we as women face in the world: rape, sexual harassment, trafficking, sexual assault, and domestic violence. Feminism is about eradicating not just sexism, but also racism, ageism, ableism, sizeism, and homophobia. Most of all, feminism does not have a static definition, but encompasses and encourages many types of feminisms. So that is her take on feminism. Bell Hooks says that it is a movement to end sexism, sexist exploitation, and oppression. So there's definitely some overlap there. Bell Hooks focuses more on the sexism and exploitation, and Seeley kind of hits on that, but takes it a lot further. So there's a lot of different views of it, what feminism is. Yeah, it depends on person to person. I personally think that it is a combination of the two definitions that I just read, and yes, there's definitely needs to be justice with women and their bodies, and we shouldn't be discriminated against just for being female, and we can't be used and exploited as often has occurred and still does occur. But it's also about equality, not just between men and women, but equality for everyone. And that's my favorite part of that definition, that it's not just about women being equal to men. We want everybody to feel equal. All right, and join me next time for another take on feminism. Well, I guess not really take on feminism, but what would the world be like if we did not have feminist movements? Where would we be today? So I'll see you next time. Welcome back to my final segment. Today we will be talking about what it would be like if we didn't have feminists and all their feminist activism that has granted women so many rights. Most of this information is coming from Richard Baumgardner's article called "A Day Without Feminism." So let's go back to 1970 and pretend like you're a woman during that time and you only have the rights that you did back then. If this were true, back in the 1970s, when a child is born, the baby automatically takes the father's name, and if no father is listed, the child is listed as illegitimate. That's actually likely to be typed on the birth certificate. There are virtually no daycares, so moms and teachers are pretty much left to take care of all of the children. Girls are likely to take home ec, and boys are likely to take some kind of woodshop or automotive shop class in their junior high years. 17 magazine doesn't have like the trauma-rama stories that are always so fun to read. They actually encourage girls not to have sex, and the word pleasure is not in their vocabulary. If girls get better grades than males in school, they're half as likely to qualify for a national merit scholarship. This is because many of the questions favor the boys, whatever the context is. It definitely relates to guys' experiences more than girls' experiences. If a girl becomes pregnant, she loses membership to the National Honor Society. And that's still true today, which is really scary to think about because I was actually part of that, so I had no idea that was even a thing. What else? If pregnancy happens during this time, a wealthy female can get a legal abortion if she lives in New York, or if she has the money to fly to New York, Cuba, London, or Scandinavia. There are illegal abortions, but they are pricey, kind of underground things that might not be up to snuff, so probably wasn't a good way to go, but if, you were desperate, that was an option. Women cannot be students at Dartmouth, Columbia, Harvard, West Point, or Boston College. That kind of sucks. Those are really good schools to get into. Curfew for women is midnight, typically on Saturdays, and 9 or 10 p.m. the rest of the week. And of course, guys have no curfew and can do whatever they want. Women workers can be fired for being pregnant, especially if they're teachers, because children are supposed to think that women never have sex. Women typically earn less money than men. They can only be promoted so far, and there's a technical term for that called the glass ceiling. and that is actually still true today. You'll still see that men typically earn more money than women, and you won't see nearly as many women CEOs as you would men, for example. And finally, we wouldn't have all the birth control options we do now, like there's like endless kinds of birth control out there, and Plan B and abortion available to women now, and you would not have that luxury back then. I believe it's very true that women today definitely take advantage of what feminists have gained during their lifetime, and they don't even realize how they had these rights, that they are even rights, possibly. Maybe we just think that this is something we're born with, that we're automatically allowed to have access to all these things, but they did come at a cost, and it was a lot of hard work and achievement on women from the past that got us to where we are today. And I would just like to finish with some quotes from Meg Seeley from different readers around the world. One of them comes from Allison in Colorado. She said, "I gave my little sister a book called Feminism is for Everyone by Bell Hooks. She told me she couldn't read it because she likes men." And my last quote comes from Casey from California. And she said, "Of course I'm a feminist. Everyone should be if they believe that all people are equal." And I could not agree more. I myself am very thankful for what has been given to me by my feminist associates from the past and current times, and I've definitely learned a lot from this class, and have plans to learn more about feminism and take more women's studies courses and be more active with it in the future. And I hope that this was at least semi-informative, and you at least learned the basics of what people think feminism is, and what feminism actually is, and what was achieved by feminism. Thank you for joining me. Goodbye.